In a recent UFC fight, fighter Belal Muhammad lost no contest due to an eye poke injury. In today's video, I'll be reacting to the video of the injury itself. We'll go through what might have happened to his eye and talk about what could await him in the future. Welcome to Eye School with Dr. D, where my goal is to arm you with the knowledge you need to take control of your eye health and have the best vision possible. Like and subscribe for videos every week. In tonight's video, we're going to be going over Belal Muhammad's eye poke that recently happened in a UFC fight. However, I want to welcome you back to Eye School with Dr. D. If this is your first time here, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss a video. We do post videos twice a week, educational videos, as well as videos more like today, which is a react video. So if you like this kind of content, feel free to hit that button below and I'll see you every week. All right, so we know that Belal Muhammad lost his fight. It was called no contest. There was a nasty eye poke at the end. And now we're going to take a look at that video and I'll talk you through what could have happened to his eye. We know now it's been a couple of weeks. We know that he has recovered vision in that eye. But let's take a look at the injury and we can talk about it a little bit more.
1 year later, nearly to the day, and as he takes on Belal Muhammad. Tail of the tape for our main event, Muhammad. 3 years older, Leon Edwards with a sizable advantage in height, 3 inches taller than the fighter out of Chicago. With that, he also has a 2-inch reach advantage, and we are just about set to get underway. One final time, here's Joe Martinez. Power shots in the first round.
All right.
Still going, Muhammad was excited to have 25 minutes, test himself, prove that he belongs in these big spots against the sport's best.
Oh, it happened so quick.
Oh, it was a poke in the eye. Yeah. It wasn't a low blow as he landed the body kick.
Over there. Over there.
Okay, so
over there.
You've got to see the replay because last time.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh my God, this looks like a bad one.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, dear. No. Oh man.
Yeah, it looks like he got hit right in the
Oh
eye.
my goodness.
Hey,
I got a bad feeling.
Okay,
This
relax.
does not
What I need you
sound
to do is
good.
I need you to relax. Relax. We'll breathe and relax and let the doctor take a look, okay?
Okay, yeah, just breathe in there. Here, calm down for a second. Let's take a look.
Relax and breathe.
Poor guy.
Hold on, hold on.
Bilal, relax and breathe. The doctor needs to take a look at it.
Can you open your eyes as best you can? Okay. Are you seeing double?
I can't see anything.
Can't see anything.
Can't see anything.
Oh, wait. Hold on, wait. Oh, good.
Huh? Stop.
Do we have an up close?
Stop.
Okay.
Herb Dean
Just for
officially
now, just for
waived.
now.
All right, so let's talk about that a little bit. First thing I noticed, and actually there's already been a doctor that reacted to this video. I definitely will link out to his channel right here. He did a really great job and he knows a lot more about sports and about UFC fights in particular. And he really goes through what happened with this injury. So we'll make sure to link his video up above and we can take a look. One thing that he talked about and is also a question for me is the glove situation here. So my husband was a boxer in his youth. And you know, like I know for boxing, that glove is more fully encompassing of the hand, but super interesting that these UFC gloves expose the finger entirely. With the amount of striking that goes on in this sport, just kind of surprised by that because it really opens you up to having an eye injury like happened in this fight. More information about this particular injury in the video up here. Let's run through what could happen in an injury like this, an eye poke injury. So the first thing, the most obvious thing that anybody would think of is a corneal abrasion or a conjunctival abrasion and or laceration. So corneal abrasions are actually super common. You have a finger going in the eye, a fingernail. Those are super common things to abrade a cornea. And a corneal abrasion is simply when that top layer of cornea has been sort of taken off and you can see like an actual cut on the cornea. Those are extremely painful, so we kind of saw him writhing around on the mat. Certainly that could have happened from, I could see that happening from an abrasion or even a conjunctival laceration, a cut of the conjunctiva itself. The second thing I think of is a subconjunctival hemorrhage. So again, that sort of pressure on the conj, that injury, that trauma could cause a blood vessel to burst. And when blood vessels burst in the conjunctiva, because of the way the conjunctival tissue is situated, sort of in sheets, there's a lot of potential space. When subconjunctival hemorrhages happen, they tend to spread out within those spaces and we see a really red eye. The next thing that could have happened with this sort of blunt force injury is a high fema. A high fema occurs when one of the blood vessels within the iris actually ruptures. This would appear as a bleed within the eye itself. You can actually sometimes see in a high fema the blood sort of settling down at the juncture between the iris and the cornea. So you'll see an actual pool of blood in the bottom. That can be a very dangerous situation. A lot of times the pressure will go very high when you have a high fema, and that's definitely something that has to be taken care of right away, as are everything I've talked about so far. The third is a traumatic iritis. So just that pressure, that force that hits the eye could cause some inflammation within the eye itself. It would be common to see some inflammation within the anterior chamber of the eye, and that would be a traumatic iritis. Getting more serious with our injuries, kind of moving into the back of the eye, would be a retinal tear or retinal detachment. This is the scariest thing. And when you start hearing someone say, I can't see anything at all, you know, an eye doctor's initial thought is, oh gosh, I hope that his retina hasn't detached. With enough force, you could certainly have the retina become torn, and then fluid gets under the retina and a retinal detachment could occur. Something else that can happen is called Berlin's edema. Berlin's edema, or commotio retinae, is when you have a trauma to the eye with enough force that basically the retina becomes cloudy and white from the trauma that occurred. That's also a situation in which someone could say, oh, I don't see anything, but then the vision slowly comes back over time. Another situation that could have occurred is an open globe. An open globe is when the actual eye has been compromised. It's open, we have a full thickness tear, either through the cornea or somewhere else, but this is when the globe is open and the eye structure itself has been compromised. That is a critical situation, a very bad traumatic injury. So those are some of the things. Again, I have no idea what happened to him in that fight, and no, they have not released the specific eye injury that he had. Looking at pictures of him afterward, I know he did have some eyelid lacerations and some swelling, ecchymosis of that region, which is certainly possible and happened. Another thing I just thought of that I didn't think of before when I was planning this video is the possibility of a floor fracture too. So he actually, if he was hit in the right way, it's possible to have enough force to rupture the floor of the orbit or any of the other orbital bones as well. And that can cause complications with the muscles of the eye. Even the nerve of the eye can be compressed in an injury like that. So long term, whenever I see a patient who's been a fighter in the past or has had eye injuries of this sort in the past, one thing long term that I'm looking for is what's called angle recession glaucoma. So that can happen when you've had a trauma, you've had blunt force injury to the eye, and the ciliary body, which is what controls the pressure within the eye, that's sort of where your filtration system of the eye is, becomes compromised. And this typically happens over many years. And so this is a longer term complication. It's very important that he continues to get eye exams, get his pressure checked, see a doctor that will use a gonioscopy lens. That's a special mirrored lens that we use to look in the anterior chamber angle of the eye where the eye's drainage system is located. So we can make sure that he doesn't have angle recession and potentially a traumatic glaucoma down the road because of this injury. Finally, one more point about MMA and the UFC and fighting in general. While I don't know that much about UFC specifically, I do know as an eye doctor here in North Carolina, one service I provide for patients is to do the North Carolina fighter exams. So If you are an athlete that's, doing any of this kind of fighting, whether it's boxing or MMA, in the state of North Carolina, an annual eye exam is required with dilation and careful assessment of the peripheral retina. So it's very likely that Belal Muhammad had this type of exam done and that his peripheral retina has been looked at very frequently, because I know that's something that at this level, athletes are definitely put through. And if you have been a fighter in the past, even if you're not technically having to do these exams every year still, it's a good idea to do them. So always go in for your annual eye exam and make sure to get dilated so that your retina can be assessed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was certainly a rough night for him. I'm so glad to hear that his eye has gotten better, he's healing, and his vision is back. Once again, check out Dr. Stutter's video. It's linked up above, and we put the link down in the description box as well. Thanks for joining me for another Dr. Reacts video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe for videos every single week, and I'll see you next time. Dun, 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 dun. Boom.